Hey everybody, this is Gina with Gina'sCraftingSpot.com, and I wanted to do a tutorial for you today actually on this card that I had done for the Royal Blog Hop that I was in a couple weeks ago, and I promised I would do a video on it. It's not going to be this exact one because I really don't, I wanted to do a fun happy birthday one. But for this one, you know, obviously decorating is the main thing that matters when you're using different like card shapes and cuts and stuff like that. So for this tri-shutter trifold card, I think that's what it's called. But anyway, for this one I used that La Creme matte stack, and I just used a little 4.5 by 6.5, and then I just chose a few different images for it to do it. So let me get started. Today I'm going to be using, for this card I'm going to use this lion. He's so cute, from the Create a Critter cartridge on page 57 of the handbook. And I just went ahead and printed out the base, his layer 1, and the base I cut out in black. And then the layer 1 I did just in a scrap of my kind of gold color, and then the mane and the inside of the ears and stuff I cut out of an orange pattern that's in the paper pack I'm using. And then I also cut out these two little dots that you can really see, but they're supposed to be the cheeks and the nose, I think, but I thought they were for the ears, and I kept losing the ears, so I just went ahead and used those dots for the ears. Hopefully it doesn't look too goofy, but I think it's fine. So that's what I'm using as my, my focal point of my card. And all the papers that I'm using are, for the prints, are from this Animal Crackers DCWV matte stack. 4.5 by 6.5 again. It's nice because you could get a whole bunch of different colors and patterns, and you don't really have to coordinate too much, because that's my main problem, finding the colors to coordinate. I don't know why I have trouble with that. But anyway, this is the card, and what I did was, I saw many tutorials, but I kind of just took how to cut it and fold it, and then the measurements for each of the panels I kind of did on my own, because some people leave more of a space in between and some leave less, so I just did what was easy for me. So if you do decide to make this again on your own or whatever, I would suggest putting all of the measurements on it. That way you have it forever, in case you don't want to go back and look it up a few times like, I had to do. And in back I just put, like, for the base to make the actual shape of it, I wrote that in the back. So this will just be my template for, whenever in the future that I want to make it. So what I'm using for my base of my card is this Basil, I think it's Basil, Basic Papers. It's a little, a 12 by 12, what do you call it? A 12 by 12 package. I got it at Big Lots, I think, for $5. I had a bunch of colors, so I'm using this brown. So you need a 12 by 12 sheet, and you're going to cut it at 5.5 by 12. I'll just cut this at 5.5. And this, I did not realize how thick this stuff was. It's like super thick and textured, and I like it. I'm going to have to buy more of it. Okay, so we have our piece, like I said, cut at 5.5, and then 12 long ways. And we are going to do some scoring first, and then we're going to do the cutting. So for this scoring, I'm going to take my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my bone folder, and I am going to, this is a way I found was easiest to make. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to take my bone folder and cut and score at 2 inches, at 4 inches, and then I turn it around and do it again, 2 inches and 4 inches. So that's it for your scoring. Now we're going to cut. And I'm going to take my trimmer, put this in long ways, at the 1.5 inch mark. Okay, the 1.5. And then you're going to take your blade, it's a piece of glue dot or something. So I'm going to take the blade and position it at the first score mark, which is 2 inches, and then go all the way down to the last score mark, which is 10. So we're going to go from 2 to 10. Then again, flip it back over, 1.5 inches, 2 to 10, 10 to 2, whatever. So my cutting's done. My card is basically already ready to go. I'm just going to have have your bone folder handy, and we're going to crease, do all these crisp creases. So you're just going to fold this, do an accordion fold on it. Just make mountains and valleys. This is really, really thick. I'm shocked. And it'll be good for this card because when I was first making them, I like folded it and unfolded it a million times, and the paper I used wasn't that great, so it kind of cracked on me. So hopefully this will hold up a little better. So okay, I just went ahead and did all my edges. Now when you fold it, to get it to close like this and open like this, if you could see, you have to go, okay, so a mountain goes up like this, and then a valley goes to the bottom, right? So we have our mountain first. So this top one is going to be a valley. Yes, it's going to be a valley. So these two, the top and the last one, are going to be valleys. And the middle one, they're opposites. The middle one's going to be a mountain. Just try to crisp your edges as you go. And then the opposite on the other side. So it'll be a valley, mountain, mountain, valley. So this one needs to go down. And then the other one's going to go up. So then when you close it, just work it a little bit, and then there you go, and that is it. Now you just decorate it. So what I decided to do with mine is use, like I said, the Animal Crackers paper. So I have my 2 panels, and what I did was I inked around the edges with just with this gold yellowy color, just to I don't know, just to kind of break it up a little bit because it is on the brown, so to give it a little more interest, I guess. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these panels, and I'll tell you as I go. These 2 panels on each end, the big ones, are 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to put both of those on. And like I said, if you want more or less of a shadow border around it or whatever, you just alter the measurements to what you want. This is just what to get you started. That's how I did it, and this is good for me. And if you wanted to mat them, you can. So we have those, and then for this card I chose to also do, because when it folds it's going to look like this, so this will be the front. I chose to also do the same pattern on these 2 middle sides. So let me just put these down. You could design it however you want, whatever you like. Mine sometimes might be too busy for people, and you might like it more simple or less loud, but I love it. It's fun to me. Okay, so for these 4 corners, you can see you have these 4 corners right here, the little ones. Or you know what, I didn't give you measurements for this. These on each side of the big middle portion are 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. So 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. Then I have these 4 corners, what I call them, 4 corners. Those are out of this brown, and those measure 1 3/8 by 1 3/4. So I'm just going to put all of those down. I'm trying to go quick so my video isn't too long. Just don't know how you gals do it in such short time. Okay, there's one. And obviously you would, if you want to have more writing or whatever on your card, then you would obviously choose lighter colors or put, you know, a solid in there or whatever. So there's all my 4 corners. And then for the top and the bottom, I call it top and bottom of the middle. So this is my middle, obviously. So the top and the bottom, for this I just chose this dark blue that's also in that same stack. Which I love it because I didn't have to, you know, go from, you know, card pack to card pack to find colors that coordinate. I love it. And two, what's a great thing is when you do these cards is to use double-sided paper. That way, obviously, you, again, it's easier for you to get your colors to coordinate and that kind of thing if you're like me. And then for the middle part, I have, again, this is from that same stack. It's like a melony, like a melon color. That it's these dots right here are the same color. So what I did was just emboss the happy birthday with white embossing powder, and the stamp is from this TPC Studios. There's a happy birthday, just some whimsy greetings it's called. I got it on clearance for $2.97. I love a bargain. So I just embossed that with white powder. Then I just added a piece of brown paper tray ink. I think it's called dark chocolate satin ribbon. So I'm just going to add this to the middle portion. And then if I, not if, and then when I send it out, I could just write down here, I could just write, or up here, you know, my greeting or who it's from or whatever. So again, the hardest part I found while doing this card was finding out the right way to fold it. And again, it goes valley, mountain, mountain, valley, valley, mountain. So you kind of do the opposite on each line. So then you just fold it down, and then the last piece I have to put on, of course you could do a little more to it, like these two squares are a little bare, but this will be, might be good enough. I just added some phone tape to the back of my lion, which I cut at 3 inches, and I'm gonna put him right up here, and there we go. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.